What's going on, good people? Welcome back to my channel. Alright, so I need to comment on this Slim Thug video I just seen. And he was basically talking about how men should boycott getting married until the laws change around divorce settlements. And he was talking about the Dr. Dre case. And I believe Dr. Dre now has to pay $3 million annually to his ex-wife, which to me is just, that's ridiculous. Like, nobody needs that much money. I understand that she's used to a certain lifestyle, but for him to have to continue paying $3 million a year to her, like, even if he's not working, like, it just doesn't make sense. And for how long? Until she gets married again? I mean, just doesn't make any sense. And it's crazy because I knew, there was a friend of mine back in the day who had an older relative who, I think the relative was about 50 or so. And she had been long divorced. I think she had been divorced for like 10 years or so, and had since moved on and was actually seeing somebody. Like, she was actually living with somebody else at the time, and they'd been living together for like 8 years, but they never got married. And the reason for that was because she did not want to lose her alimony check, because she was apparently married to a very wealthy man and had a large check coming all the time. So what she did was, she never sold her house. She kept her house so that her IDs and everything, government papers, always show that resident of hers as her address. Meanwhile, she was actually living with her new man and collecting the check. And I don't know how her new man was okay with that, but obviously he didn't seem to mind. So they never got married because she wanted to continue getting the check. And that just doesn't make any sense to me. Why should someone have to be on the hook to keep paying for you if you've already moved on and are essentially married to somebody else, really, because you live with them and would be considered common law, but because you never sold your place and you kept your home address as the house that you own, but you're living with this guy in the house that he owns, there's no way to prove it, right? So she continues to get the money from him, which just, they got to change those laws, you know? And especially when you think about athletes, there's athletes that, you know, we know that there's women out there that just, their objective is to go find themselves a rich baller, be it football player or a basketball player, whatever it is. They find a rich athlete or a rich actor, and they try to, first thing they usually try to do is try to get pregnant. We've seen it over and over. I think Tyler Hero, his girl is now pregnant. We saw it happen with Paul George. And more often than not, these guys end up marrying these women because they, I guess, want to do the right thing. And if you see, in most cases, as soon as the guy's career is coming to an end, or shortly after they retire, these women usually leave them. And we've seen this before. Like, one of the ones that that comes to mind for me is Larsa Pippen. And the nonsense that she's been putting Scotty through, you know? But she's happy to collect that check from him because she stayed with him just long enough. I think it was like 10 years or so. She needed to stay with him to get the money. And you see this happen over and over again. So obviously these athletes need to be smarter, and that's all on them, you know? So while I agree with Slim Thug's premise of what he was talking about with the laws, I don't agree with him when he says that you should boycott marriage, because what you should be doing is boycotting these Instagram thoughts that are out there for your money, these groupies that are out there for your money, you know? Find a real girl. Better for you if you have a girl that you've been with, you know, since that knew you from before. But if anything, like, dating these Instagram girls and sliding into their DMs and all that, that's exactly what they want. So if they get you on the hook, that's your fault. But I still do believe that the laws need to change. Anyway, that's my thought on that. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.